looks like most of the teams are in their respective voice channels. It means I just get to hear more of my lovely voice. I fucking love human beings on the internet. They're also polite and kind, and not at all unnecessarily toxic. Wonderful. What have you been up to recently then? Lovely. That's fair enough. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes it a little bit more difficult. I can imagine. Oh no, when I was building my computer, you know, like paste, like the cooling paste. Oh my gosh, I put the paste on my like CPU, right? Like where it's supposed to, like I put it, or not on like I put it down where it's like supposed to be, right? Like, yeah. And then I don't know what it's called, but like on the spot. And then like I put my processor in, but then I thought I put it in backwards, like essentially like flipped like 180 degrees clockwise. So I started like freaking out, and it took me like an hour. It was like what, half an hour to realize that I'd put it on the right way round. And then by this time I just like completely prepared it, but I didn't break anything. I was really proud of myself. But I was freaking out for like half an hour, just being like, oh shit, I fucked up. Oh, and it looks like the first two bands have come through. Consulate Gone and Theme Park have been taken out. Nothing too unusual there. So being a best of one, each team will get to ban 3 maps. And whatever's left is what's played. So I'm expecting probably like a Consulate, Coastline, or Oregon, really. Like the 3 I'm expecting. Does he want like a coach or something? Maybe they want him to help with the back bands. Oh my gosh, piss off. Oh, and Villa being taken out by MSG. Why did I say mad? So, MSG removing Villa and Consulate. We'll see what SAD choose to remove, and they remove Coastline. I think that's quite a good ban if you think you're the better team, which I'm pretty sure SAD think they are the better team. I think their track record Uwu. Is he yelling Uwu at you through the game? Oh my gosh. Right. And what team is he on? I think his team should be forced to forfeit the series just for that. Okie dokie. So the rest of the bands have come through, and it was Oregon taken out by Mindset as their last map, and Clubhouse removed from SAD, leaving us with Cafe as the map to be played for the first game of the SSAL Season 1. And while we're getting the lobby set up right now, quickly run you through how the map size, or the map is going to work. It's a slightly extended version of the normal competitive map. It'll be first to 8 rather than first to 7, with 7 maps being played on either side, which should give a little bit more integrity to the result, as it'll be a longer series, so there'll be less random rounds, won or thrown by teams. I mean, that in theory, the better team should win more frequently. As this is a league, there'll be a points-based system, depending on whether you win or lose a game. And this is how the points will work. If you win, you get 3 points, and if you lose, you get 0. However, if the game goes to overtime, a win in overtime will give you 2 points, and a loss will give you 1. This means that if the match is closer, then the points given out will be given out more closer accordingly. And it should mean that teams will really push to try and win before overtime comes, but that you're not completely punished if you lose out in overtime and it was a close game. This means there's a total of 3 points to be gained in every single game that will be played this season. And it just depends on how the teams perform to see how those 3 points will be split between them. What the fuck are they doing? No, just these fucking morons. Fucking idiots, man. Actual Papagas in my games, okay. How come they're missing a player? Just like he can't turn up, or? Have they said if he's going to be on his way, or? Oh, I've got a hat. Oh shit. Kids all not connect to the servers.
So yeah, we're waiting for one player because he can't. Ubisoft.
Okay, well that means I got time to finish this dungeon. Why is it that the easiest part of the dungeon is the boss fight bit? Like, that's the bit that my team don't put Pega on.
That's
Kick him up. He does no damage. That's alright.
The game should have started 5 minutes ago. I'm being very lenient. But, you know. We want a game, we don't want a skip of a match. That's never good. He is invited. That's good to know. Can I get a real-time clock up? I can. Here's 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Is he gonna make it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He hasn't made it. Oh well. Big sad. It's fine, whatever. Give him another minute. There we go, he's in the game finally. There we go. Now the match can begin. Oh god.
Oh, that's so cringe.
What's cringe? What's happened?
No, nothing. It's all sorted. Nearly.
You need to tell me what's cringe now. What's happened? What's cringe?
Oh, just bag space. Bag space screws me over. But, forgetting my bag space, we've got the Thatcher band coming out from Mindset Gaming on Cafe. They will be sitting on defense, so I can understand why they'd want to do that. But I think it's interesting that people continuously ban the Thatcher. It'd be interesting to see if SAD are able to make the best use of this and abuse the Jaeger or my combo when they're on defense, but they're going to be banning out the Nomad. So that's the Thatcher and the Nomad gone. Neither of these bans are too uncommon on this map, but I think they're interesting nonetheless. The one Mai being taken off the board by SAD, afraid of that abusive double combo. And the Mirror taken off the board finally for Mindset Gaming. Mirror, a very strong operator, grants a lot of sight and a lot of intel for defenders and can provide some really awkward one-way angles. So removing that from the board is obviously going to be a little bit of a detriment on your defenses, but they would have planned around it, and it should hopefully be more of an inconvenience for SAD than it is for themselves. The Montaigne is still on the board, and it will be picked up here by SAD on their first attacking round. So, the reveal now coming in is going to be the Carney swapped in for the Gridlock, feeling that they can watch their flanks and hold those staircases safer without the help than with it. But the Carney's going to be very helpful at getting that bakery wall open, whether they know that they're going to need to get that open or not at the moment. And the Montaigne, obviously a fantastic operator at clearing out space, and is going to really negate the strength of negate the strength of this Mozzie Mute combo, as Montaigne does not get stopped by either of them.
Bomb located by attackers.
the Carly coming in and spotting the kitchen site, and then they're going to save the rest of their drones. This is fantastic. I think this is really good showing from SAD. Good discipline to keep all their drones alive, and they haven't lost a single one in the prep phase. They know exactly where the site is going, and they'll know at least 4 of the operators. However, they do not believe there was a 6th pick made by the defense, so they will actually potentially be aware of all 5.
10 seconds to go.
Keeping all 5 of your drones alive gives you 10 to use during the action phase, and I think that's a fantastic job, as it will allow them to really flush out anyone who's playing off the site and make their approach a lot more safe. Make the approach a lot more safely. The rotation in the kitchen wall coming out from MSG, just wanting to make sure they can make the best use of a player behind the counter without him dying too easily. This is the roam coming out from Rust on the Jaeger upstairs. Well, the rest of the other Mozzie is also going to be roaming, and then 3 members will be holding down the site. There is currently no one behind the cafe counter, but nope, the mute will move up into that position. Already throwing the nitro. That's 30 seconds in. They've burnt the nitro from the mute, trading at only 25 HP on the Montana. I think that's a fantastic job. Well, this is going to be brilliant for SAD, Oh, they're going to lose a member early on. That's going to be the opening frag of the game coming out onto that Carly. The lovely shot coming out from the mute. Smoke, just chilling in the back of the site, has his prepped holes to throw his canisters towards the default spot should he need to. But so far there's been no pressure put onto the mute and Jaeger roaming above. All the attention from SAD is going straight into the site. Raza now checking through the rotation hole. It's a problem now that they've left it open, and that's going to be a quick frag found onto Dash. That is the bandit out the round. But lovely bit of shooting from Techno will take out Drapes and deal a lot of damage onto the Zofia. However, damage is being traded back and forth between the 2 sides now. The first canister will go out, taking a bit of health off of that Montaigne and forcing him into a bit more of an uncomfortable position in the middle of the site. The prep is being watched now by the smoke, as they're just aware of this Montaigne who might try to pull something out. Bit of damage onto the smoke, but he's going to take a little bit back in return from that second gas canister, and now they're going to pinch him. He should have been dead here. There was no one watching as he turned to avoid the Jaeger, and the Jaeger is going to get downed, but Montaigne down to 25 HP in the 1 versus 3, as one is downed, and he'll quickly lose his life out. Fantastic bit of refrags from Mindset, just to quickly eliminate any players that could be proposing an issue. Okay, and here we're seeing the Echo coming out. Cade, an interesting pick for the site. It's commonly see a bandit, but the Carly is coming out once again, so they're clearly expecting some sort of denial, and that will probably be focused towards the piano wall. Just getting ready to remove that so they can get access to that whole area a lot faster and start to make a more threatening push. The Echo is actually being swapped off of, and that's the Thermite going in favor of the IQ. This is fantastic from MSG, removing their Echo for the Maestro, which is going to bring the IQ in, who is not going to have a whole lot of utility to find. Whilst you might have been able to use that scanner to remove any Cade claws, you already have the Carly to do that job. And so I think that's a fantastic trade from Mindset, really baiting out a pick. And while the second hard breacher isn't really a necessity for SAD, it will be more useful than a IQ. The G8 though is still a fine gun, and I'm sure Kai can make some moves with that and really take out some players. But we'll just have to see. So that is now 1 drone down, but I believe that's the only one, unless I'm mistaken. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb. Let's see a very common setup coming out from MSG, just going to have that player playing in Pixel behind a deployable shield. Is there a deployable shield set up in Pixel? Do not believe there is, no. So that's an interesting change, not having that shield to deny the lines of sight from both the minibar window and from Cigar Shop. But I'm sure they have their reasons, and they're instead going to have... Where has Smoke deployed his shield? Or did he not have one? Did he bring barbs instead? Ah, it's set up in the freezer, so to help him hold that area. The hatches will finally start to get opened up. Carly taking out that hatch with a third shot. Doesn't really need one, but... I'm going to start to try and clear out this shop area and push in towards piano. There isn't actually anyone currently contesting the piano, and Jaeger's chosen to fall back to the downstairs instead. So they have control of the piano now. This has been very quick, only 1 minute 20 in, and they have a lot of the major map control that you'd really want. However, with the lack of a Nomad, with the ban of the Nomad and the lack of the Gridlock pick, they're going to be extra careful of someone coming up these red stairs behind them, such as we know the Jaeger is downstairs by pillar. And there we go. There's the flank watch coming out from Raza. Just making sure no one's sneaking up on him. I'm going to open up the hatch below and try and just check to catch out anyone in train. But it's actually going to be the Habana dropping, trying to contest any roamers downstairs. Montaigne continuing to push up, passing the laundry room. Just going to try and make sure there's no one peeking from the end of the white corridor. And there is the Cade there, so he's going to have to be very careful. But the IQ of Carney coming to support him. Some shots coming out, back and forth, with Kai taking a lot of damage from that TCSG of the Maestro, but it's going to be a couple of quick kills coming out, with Russ dying, followed shortly by Drapes and Carney. That is the Smoke and Maestro doing a lot of work to put their round on. That's Sanity with his second kill on the round. And that is now Raza down, so it's down to the Montaigne and the Carly once again. 10 seconds left on the round, and they're aware of someone coming behind, but he finds the one kill. It's now Montaigne in the 2 versus 1. He'll find 2 of those kills, but he has 4 seconds to find the last. He's going to instead try and stick the plant. Oh no. Is Mozzie going to be able to punish him in time? He isn't able to, and now it's a post-plant situation for the Montaigne to play out. He's being forced back into a... Oh, he's not made the mistake of going back into the corner where there's a vaultable spot. But Mozzie's going to run behind him. Can't quite catch him out. Montaigne's aware of the rotation. He's fallen back behind the walls, so he can't see if his gun is out or not. There's a lovely play from Grisbear on the Montaigne. Exposing him to his feet, but he's aware of what he needs to protect. And that's a 1 versus 3 clutch for the Montaigne. Fantastic work from Grizzly Bear. Lovely bit of individual performance, really pulling back around for SAD that they were otherwise set to lose. I think it's just unfortunate that Techno couldn't catch out the Montaigne when his shield was being pulled back around after he planted the diffuser, as that is the ideal time to catch a Montaigne in those situations, as his shield is being moved around and is therefore offering him a little less protection. But it was a lovely turn from Grisbear, just ready for it. Really, I think, apart from losing that at the end, I think the Maestro pushing up the stairs a little bit too aggressively into the sightlines of the Montaigne. And had he been a little bit slower, the Montaigne wouldn't have been able to catch him out before turning onto the Cade, and it would have been a round win for MSG. But there's not a lot that can be done about that now. And it's the IQ being brought back again. So clearly comfortable with the operator, and it'll be the Gridlock seeing a return, the Carly being exchanged now. And it'll be the same lineup to the same bomb site for MSG. So if they can replicate their early success and have a little bit less of a failure at the end.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. Attackers have located a bomb.
Deployed.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Test ready. ADS up and running.
5 seconds remaining.
I have nothing too dissimilar coming out from MSG, running back the same setup as before.
Defuse a bomb.
Let's just see if they can well, like I said earlier, just replicate their early successes with finding some good frags. It was the Drapes and Carney that fell very early on by the hand of Fire and Sanity. So it should be interesting to see if they can recreate.
Scanning for electronics.
Pushing up to the top floor now. We're going to try and open these hatches early on.
Deploying bleach charge.
And the hatches were being opened up now by SAD. They will start to put themselves in a position, once again, going to quickly take control of the piano. However, I think there's a little bit more.
Sting is active.
There's a Mozzie underneath, so they have to be careful of potential nitro if there's any vision. But it looks like the Montaigne's going to shove straight in.
Grab the drones. Straight shot too.
He's going to actually prone himself in, saving the rest of the Habano pellets for a different wall, so they feel that's more valuable. Drape's now pushing very aggressively into piano. He's going to start potentially opening the wall right next to the one he's at. Could open the one into the bar, which gives them a nice little plant spot to hide in. However, Rush is very aggressively hidden on the bar there, in the B bomb site, and could potentially have a lovely shot, but it will be him getting shot from the Zofia early on. A double nitro from the Mozzie underneath. Fantastic, and that was what we were talking about. If they have the vision and they have the awareness, and that is going to be Raza and Carney down. So it's the Zofia and IQ, two lovely guns, and that's going to be a third kill found in the round by the smoke, before the Mozzie will quickly find the gridlock on the flank up the white stairs. This round has gone very much in favor of Mindset Gaming, and they should be able to close this one out as an armor 1 versus 4 with 50 seconds left on the clock. You never know, though. Siege, at the end of the day, is a shooter, and some people can pull off fantastic feats to clutch out a almost guaranteed loss. But with 30 seconds now on the clock, and Habana yet being able to decide the pushing up white stairs, finally finding the first kill, and that'll be Techno, the Mozzie down, who got the 3k in the round, but very quickly be finished off by the smoke. That is fantastic from Sanity, getting the double kill in the round. He's done a really good job at holding down the attackers, really preventing any pushes. Returning back to kitchen now, as the site is finally opened up again. It looks like they're running back a very similar, I believe this is actually the same, yes, this is the same lineup that they ran the first time around on this bomb site, if my memory serves me correctly. And let's see if they can create a similar result. The Jackal being shown instead of the Carly, and last round the Gridlock. So this is an interesting adaptation, should it not be swapped off of. Expecting the double roam from the Jaeger Mozzie once again, and deciding that they want to clear that out. It was the Mozzie coming down the red stairs that was able to find a lovely kill onto Carney. And dealing a lot of damage onto the Raza, which caused a lot of problems and really opened up the round for Miss MSG. Mindset, not Miss. Still getting used to the team names, but we'll get there eventually.
Need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can. seconds left before insertion.
Send device. Reloading. Pest deployed. Clear of ADS line of
5 seconds left before insertion. Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
active. Jammer deployed. Stay clear of ADS line of fire. Have you covered. We can push forward! My beauties are in place. My toxic waste are in position.
The early nitro and smoke canister is doing a lot of damage onto Grizzbear, and he's already going to be down to 25 HP. This is going to make the Montaigne a lot less effective. And you can see what a shot from fire, killing the Ash of Drapes. That's going to be a lovely frag, but the smoke will fall to Raza. Now, Zofia doing a lot of damage now. We're down to a 4 versus 4. 2 minutes still on the clock, but I feel like with the Montaigne on such a low HP, this is really in favor of the defenders. The wall into prep going to be opened up now, providing Carney with a long line of sight towards that window in prep. Oh, that's a lovely angle from Rust, and if the Montaigne isn't... Oh, he takes a couple shots too early on, and it's going to be Grizzbear walking his way very far up, but if someone looked at down that hole from the opposite angle, they might be able to find him, and the mute is hidden in the corner. He is aware of the mute's location. He's going to be pinging it out to his team. The concussion mines coming in from the Zofia, expecting someone in the rotation hole, and there is someone pushing the rotation hole, but he needs to be careful of the Montaigne behind him. The Montaigne behind him will be taken out, and I believe that was from the angle above, which we spoke about earlier. And that's going to be Techno with the double kill, taking out Joshinator. That is the Jackal down, but Raza, willing his team onwards, going to find a kill onto Fire. That is the mute that's been so inconvenient, taken out, and that's going to be a weird rush from Rust. He's going to be punished by Carney, and it's now like 2 versus 2. Raza on very little HP, but as is Dash. Both of them going to be taken out very quickly should they find themselves in the line of sight of the enemy team. How many do we... Both players, I believe, have their nitros still on the board, so there's going to be some long-range tosses coming out to really put some punish on. That's going to be the first nitro cell coming out, missing its target, and the plant coming out in the default spot, and without that nitro being thrown out by Dash, they're not going to be able to stop it, and it's down with 2 versus 1. And Sad will clutch the round out. The 2v4. Some poor plays from 2 members. Given Fire was in an uncomfortable position, so there was not a whole lot he could do, but I think Rust really pushing too aggressively, and the nitro cell not coming out in time from Dash to prevent the default plant spot. It's now going to be 2-2. Which is sad because Techno had some fantastic plays, but sadly could not connect with his C4 either. And that's going to be an unlucky round that they will lose. They could be kicking themselves over that. They managed to remove the Monty, and the Monty really wasn't able to get anything done on the round after that prep control. But that was enough for Sad, and they were able to punish accordingly. The Capital now coming out from Joshinator. This would be 5 rounds with 4 unique operators. And it's going to be the exact same lineup running back for Kitchen Service. Players just feeling very comfortable in knowing what they want to run and running it back again, knowing that they made some mistakes that we've highlighted already, and I'm sure that they will notice these as well.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Jammer ready to activate.
I don't think the setup from MSG needs much of an adaptation, but I think that's more of a mindset coming into
10
this,
seconds to go.
if you excuse the pun.
5 seconds remaining.
Activated device.
Okay, it looks like SAD are going to go for an identical push with the early pressure onto that bakery, as they have done both times we've seen this site played. And will probably replicate for the third, as you see 4 players spawning at Christmas Market and very quickly pushing up towards that bakery door. The Montaigne already prepping himself to run straight into that smoke once again. But this time they can give him a little bit more info before he rams his face through the door. First smoke canister coming out. It's not gonna. Oh, it's gonna do a lot of damage onto Grizzbear. Excuse me, I thought that was gonna miss for a second. As just took a couple seconds to get that damage ticking on, and that's gonna be what 30 points of damage now dealt onto the Montaigne. That's fantastic use of smoke canisters. Sadly, might be able to do a little bit more, but that's gonna be enough to really slow down their push. The second canister in the hand of Sanity now, but he hears someone coming in through small bakery. Fire. Hopefully he'll be able to land that fantastic shot that he did onto Drapes once again. But the smoke's going to run back into sight, taking a little bit of damage from Zofia, but will stay alive. This is important. And it's going to be the next smoke canister coming out in that rotation hole with a couple spreads coming through onto the shield of the Montaigne. But Montaigne's taking a lot of damage and is already down to about 35 HP. The use of the rotation hole means that Rust will not be able to find the kill that Techno was able to last round through this hole, but there's also been no pressure put on by the attackers to remove anyone from this position, and if he keeps holding it, could come in very critical. You see someone moving, gets a couple sprays down, and that'll be Carney taking about 20 damage to the foot. Looks like we're seeing the Ash starting to put some top floor pressure, and it's actually going to be a rotation coming out from SAD with little time on the clock, 30 seconds, and a wonderful nitro from Dash, who wasn't quite able to make the best use of it this round, but will pay it forwards to the next. A kill coming out from Carney now, and that is Techno dead. Fantastic player off the board, but Dash finding his double kill for the round, causing an absolute nuisance for the defenders, and that's going to be the asphyxiation bolt coming out from Capital, and a lovely bolt now to deal a lot of damage as the swing comes in to remove Dash from his position. It's going to be a couple of players more down to a 2 versus 2. Fire and Rust is Fire finding the first kill, and that's going to be Drapes down, will get downed, but sadly the double kill cannot come in time, and it'll be round number 5 won by the defenders. Mindset Gaming taking this game at 3-2. 2 more rounds left in the half.
It's a very close game.
Yes, this has been a fantastically close matchup between the two teams with some stunning individual performances. Let's give a shout out to Dash real quick in that round. Lovely C4 toss to take out the Montaigne, and then a lovely kill onto the Thermite. It was only with the help of the asphyxiation bolt and the stun grenade that the swing could come out from Josh Nature, and that's an ace. Ace is a disallowed pick, I believe. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, ace isn't allowed.
So there will be 6th picking off of that.
Okay.
That's the Jackal. Okay. So he's still on only four unique operators. The Capital, finding that the Capital was very helpful on the bottom floor, and they're going to try and make a bit more use of it on the top. They're also choosing to run back with the Thermite, and it will be Drapes taking up the mantle of the IQ.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Reloading my ammo.
They're running back the same 5 operators, the Maestro, Maestro, Jaeger, Smoke, Mozzie, and Cade. interesting to see how they can change things up and replicate their last defense here, where they're able to win it quite convincingly, ending the round with a 3-man advantage.
10 seconds to insertion.
So it'll be interesting to see if we can see some similar performances coming out now. They're doing a fantastic job on their defenses mindset, and really the only rounds they've lost have been down to individual performances. They lost one round where it was the Montaigne in the 3 versus 1, and the other round they lost was the 2v4 which they threw. So really this could very easily be a 5-0 for Lions at the moment, and it's very fortunate for SAD that some of their players have been able to pull off some fantastic comebacks.
Scanning for electronic devices. Scanning.
But the defenders are going to the attackers are very quickly going to move towards Piano. Techno once again underneath, see if he can replicate his double nitro heroics.
Follow me. We have this. I'm out. Time to ring some ears.
Visual on target. Second floor.
No one putting pressure from the Skylight hatch, which means it's going to be very easy for Russ to play here. However, I do think the Skylight is a little bit of a trap and can actually be quite dangerous to peek from on either side. It really comes down to who's ready for the other first. And it's going to be a lot more pressure now put on from the side of SAD to clear out anyone playing in the middle floor. There's going to be a lot of damage done onto the drapes by Russ. That's the IQ, and they're going to be holding on very well to this middle floor with the Rust and Techno, the Jaeger and the Mozzie holding a crossfire which will result in a kill onto Drapes. And as the IQ eliminated early, and it's going to be only a minute left with no real push coming out onto the main site. And it looks like SAD are going to have to just ignore the rumors that they are fully aware are there. Montaigne taking some early damage, but with there are 45 seconds left on the clock, and the two roamers are just being allowed to thrive. The Nitro from Techno pulling a little bit of damage, pulling the Montaigne down to half HP. But Sanity is still in a very comfortable position with 2 toxic canisters left. He could be playing up close with the shotgun if he needs to. Just removing the bar so that he can get anyone out of there. There's going to be another canister coming down and doing a ton of damage onto the Montaigne, bringing him to the one-shot category. The smoke bolt's going to try and come out from Josh and Nathan, but he's going to be taken out by the smoke as he peeks. Oh no, by the Mozzie as he peeks, sorry.
5 seconds left.
I mean, SAD just ran out of time. Mindset done a fantastic job, clearly prepped and expecting this map to come out, and they are thriving on it. They've done a fantastic job every single round, and you can't say they haven't. Their only mistakes has been some slight misplays in clutch situations, losing some rounds. But I think if you have to talk about who's played better Siege, it has to go to MSG. There's no exception. Well, they seem a little bit surprised, but I'm sure they'll be enjoying the potential for another round. Is this NA East? No, this is EU.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
And this will actually be this will be the first round that is not being played in the bars on the top floor or the kitchen in the basement, and instead going to the reading. Reading, I think, is an undervalued site. I think it's actually possibly the strongest of all three sites on the map, due to the way you can play this as the defenders, holding the upstairs area, and you only have to hold the back of the upstairs, really. You get to hold the most defensible part of it, and then should you lose that top floor control, well, you can drop downstairs onto the bomb site rather than losing control of the site itself. I think for those reasons, it's a strong site, and it's interesting that we'll finally see it brought out and see what MSG have prepared for it.
This door is secured.
I think the finger pick, along with the sledge and the blackbeard, this is a very interesting lineup coming out from SAD. Whether they expect this site and have something very specific prepared for it, would be interesting to see. But it's a very new lineup with Finker, Sledge, and Blackbeard being brought each for the first time this series. Damage down onto the Carney, and there's the Finker, but the first boost will be brought out, and that's going to be a lot of damage down on the Saturday Carney, falling very quickly onto the UMP of Sanity. There's been a lovely hold, and they're going to find a quick trade, swapping out Techno for Grizzly Bear, or Grizz Bear. That is going to be him. The first round off the Montaigne, going to be dead very quickly. And it's going to be Drapes falling now at the hand of Sanity with the UMP God question mark.
Attackers recovered the
Quick kill coming out from Raza, and that'll be Techno falling now. But it's the 2 versus 3, and that's actually a lovely impact coming in from Fire, injuring the Zofia, and the ping coming out from a camp, telling them you can get a free kill. And it'll be Josh and Nater in the 1 versus 3. He'll have the Blackbeard shield to help him survive, but he's gonna need it. Oh no, I think they're both cracked actually. Never mind. And that's a lovely shotgun shell coming out, ending the half 5-2. Well, that's certainly been a very dominant half for MSG. And I would like to remind you, the 2 rounds that SAD have won were clutches, a 3v1 and a 4v2. So really they should have gone in favor of MSG. They can clean things up. There's been a very, very lovely performance from MSG in this half. And they're really taking SAD for a run. But now the sides are going to be swapping. We're seeing the Rook coming out. Very interesting operator choice. However, with the lack of the Wamai, I think the Rook armor to help prevent any grenade kills actually could be very influential. Only 1 set of grenades is being brought. However, it's going to be the IQ being revealed to try and take out these Valkyrie cameras.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Going up.
seconds left.
Okay, we're seeing similar setup with the player in the... Oh, no, they're going to move the shield into the back of prep, I'm assuming.
Attackers must locate
But they
and
fully
defuse the
reinforced the
bomb.
wall into bakery, choosing to give that space up rather than try and contest it with a player, but looks like Drapes will be playing aggressively with the smoke nonetheless. The defenders going... MSG going for a slightly different attack, actually looking to take control of the back and potentially go through the freezer.
Bomb located by attackers.
It's been quite a slow start for Mindset, but they're just setting themselves up, not losing any members early on, which is also a fantastic job. That's going to be the piano wall opened up, trying to take control of that top floor. I think they're aware that the Valkyrie is roaming up there. If they can catch out Josh Nater, that would be a fantastic job. He's going to push up towards Pixel, but be droned out and forced straight back down again. It's a lovely bit of roam clear. However, they have they've had to expend 2 drones in doing so. They're maybe not fully aware that the Valkyrie has dropped downstairs, however they will be now. So we're going to be watching the angle on the top floor just to be certain. And that'll be the kill coming out onto Raza. Fantastic shot from Dash up on the top floor balcony, watching down into the pillars. But a lovely swing from Josh Nater. He's going to take a lot of damage in the process, but nonetheless he will find the kill, and that is Sledge down. 1 HP is still enough HP to wield a gun, and therefore the Valkyrie will still have to be something to worry about. Preparing themselves for someone flanking from behind the red stairs. Lovely precautions being come out, but are they aware of how close the Valkyrie is? The Valkyrie will swing out, get a lot of damage, and actually take out the Thermite. That is the Thermite and only Hard Breacher gone. They'll be able to refrag the Valkyrie, but that is a very nice trade, and I think you take that trade every day of the week. The 1 HP Valkyrie for the Thermite, I'll take that any day. Lovely bit of shotgun work coming out, and that is going to be a double kill for Grizzly Bear, who's done some fantastic work on the Montaigne, and now showing his prowess with the SMG-11 and the shotgun. And it will leave it in a 1 versus 1. The smoke versus the Zofia. Time is on the side of Drapes. Will he be able to use it? The barbed wire on the floor, and he's going to find that kill. Lovely bit of play from Drapes to swing at the exact moment he needed to, just as Zofia turned around. Well, Sanders starting off their defenses well. They managed to find some good picks, and despite losing the Jaeger early on, they were able to refrag through Josh Nater's lovely swing onto the sledge, and then find the Thermite, which denied that opening of the freezer wall. It's now going to be moving to the top floor, and they're showing both the Echo and the Maestro, 2 very powerful operators, and in combination with the Valkyrie, would provide a lot of intel for SAD. However, I think it's very likely we see Techno swapping off of the Ash and onto the IQ as he did last round, just to try and remove this extra intel. And there we go. There we see the swap from Techno.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
So it's now going to be the same rotation coming out from Sad Kitchen into the top floor, choosing to hold it slightly differently, running with the 3 intel operators, which is going to be very powerful should they be able to hide their cameras and yokais away from the IQ.
Seconds to go. 5 seconds left. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
So quickly going to be setting themselves up to the top floor, try and take control of Piano. There is no one again playing aggressively inside of Piano, choosing to instead play a little bit more passively towards the back of the site. Gives up that control for free, and I think it's a relatively safe position to play, but maybe without the Wamai, people don't want to really try it. They spread out the smoke behind the shield very aggressively by the Red Hatch, by the door from Red Hatch and Cigar. However, they choose to ping him out and to remove him from that position. He's going to fall back a tiny bit. Sledge, setting himself on the window, could potentially deny the door behind him, draw a long line of sight to catch the smoke out, but smoke will be able to repel away fairly safely. I think that's a missed opportunity and maybe a better sight line, potentially if they got onto the other repel window on the other side of Piano, would be able to find a lovely shot onto that smoke, but alas, they cannot punish it. And that's unfortunate. It looks like the wall at the top of Red was left soft by Sad. I think that's a huge mistake because it doesn't require the thermite to commit to opening that wall. The ADS going to catch the concussion, the explosive blast from the Zofia, sorry. Going to challenge with a pistol. Isn't quite able to find Drapes, but does a lot of damage onto him. Sanity reloading the gun, going to take a swing. There'll be Drapes falling back, and there we go. There's the push from the Sledge, pinching out that smoke player. That'll be Drapes off the table for the defense. The wall into Freezer is going to be finally opened up. This is going to deny the Maestro a lot of power from his position, but could also grant him some opportunities if he catches the attackers unaware. Lovely kill coming in from Techno, and that'll be Joshinator down, the Valkyrie out of play. So, IQ not only taking out the cameras, but taking out the operator herself. Sad now, where is on pushing up of White, wants to watch the back of the Maestro. That's a lovely shot, peeking up from Raza and finding the kill onto Fire. That is the thermite down and the diffuser dropped in the middle of shop. It's going to be recovered very quickly. Nope, Sanity hasn't quite picked it up yet. Instead, challenging, and that's going to be Dash, finding a kill onto the Maestro, and working his way up to Freezer, finding a kill, and that's finding a quad kill on the round for... Fantastic from Dash, the quad kill, taking out the... First of all, the Smoke, the Maestro, then the Jaeger, and the Echo in the back of the site. Lovely push from him through the opened Freezer wall. And that'll put them to 6-3. Well, some lovely shooting from the Sledge, but let's see if... Oh, it's going to be the reading room fireplace coming out. Drapes on the Smoke was hovering the Pulse, but that could lead to them exchanging it. The Pulse is a little bit of a giveaway that you might be trying a reading play, but it's still very useful on bars. But I think they want to keep it hidden and swap onto it again. And it'd be Carney. Is this the Pulse we're going to see? I would expect to see a Pulse, but it would surprise me if we saw something else. It's actually the swap from the Rook onto the Dock. Fair enough. Wanting the Stim pistols.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you value the additional health that you can gather over the explosive resistance. Sledge didn't find many grenade kills in the last. We didn't find any grenade kills in the last round, so I can understand why you'd value the health bar instead. The ACOG still very useful on this site, as you're going to be holding from upstairs, most likely, and the long line of sights across the no man's land of the white corridor and bar obviously favor those ACOG wielders to take those long range gunfights. You can see Drape setting up the footholes that you would use to deny anyone trying to crawl in through the fireplace.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds remaining. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
It doesn't look like they have much of an upstairs presence, going for more of a vertical hold. They have the Mozzie, but now that Mozzie has lost his super shorty, he will not be able to open all the holes that they would possibly want to hold some angles. Instead, he's going to be roaming around, trying to cause himself a bit of a nuisance. There's an interesting adaptation from MSG, who went for a very vertical hold on this site, which I think worked out fantastically well for them and was quite strong. The Sledge opening up the hatches now. We see the rubble flying up into the air. There's now 3 players upstairs. They have finally rotated some members up, and that'll be playing a little bit more loosely, just running around the top floor, peeking up to the skylight. There are 2 members up there. Will he be able to find any of them? A little bit of damage down onto Dash, but we dashed, re-peeking it and finding the injure. Can't quite pick off the kill, and there we go. He'll find the angle with the SMG. And that's going to be a lovely opening pick on for Dash, who's done a fantastic job on these attacks. Finding these opening kills. That is 2 attacks and 2 opening kills for him now. All the smoke challenging the gridlock and winning out the gunfight. A lovely headshot coming out from Drapes. Baby quickly followed up by a kill onto Sanity from Josh Nater on that Mozzie, who will nitro open the wall but be eliminated by the thermite of fire. Down to a 3 versus 3 with one more player on the top floor,
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
who is hidden behind the side and will actually find the thermite and then get an injure before being eliminated by the IQ. Nearly a lot of damage done. He'll be disappointed that it was only an injure and couldn't quite find the kill. Lovely bit of work from Techno on that IQ to save his teammate's life, and now has the diffuser in hand. They may not be completely aware of where the defenders are, but they'll only have 30 seconds to make a play from this. The Doc rotating around inside the reading room, trying to get a better angle onto the main door. They'll hear the IQ pushing in. Sledge just dropping the hatch and finding that kill onto Carney, and it's going to be the Valkyrie finding a quick kill back onto the Sledge. The plant is going down and Valkyrie isn't aware. We'll get it down, and it's not going to be a 1 versus 1. If Techno can win this, he'll pull his team to match point. He's watching the rotation hole, but he swings out onto the Valkyrie, gets a lot of damage, and that'll be Techno securing round number 10 for the attackers of Mindset Gaming, pushing themselves to match point. It'll be 7-3 with first to 8 to score at. Well, I doubt things are going too smoothly in the sad camp right now. Going to be discussing what they can change up, but this is the Montaigne coming out from Sanity. A lovely change, but the Legion from Carney is almost perfectly waiting for it. Legion obviously being a very strong operator into the Montaigne, as his goo mines will deal damage over time unless you remove them. And during that time, the Montaigne is vulnerable. Obviously, you can have a teammate cover you while you're doing so, but If you aren't able to quite get your teammate to do that, then you are at risk, and it's going to be Rust swapping onto the Zofia from the Gridlock, clearly valuing the explosive and concussion mines, grenade shooters. Why am I mind fogging on what they're called? The impact grenades and explosive and concussion mines, concussion grenades. I don't know. I've gone boom.
Defenders, protect
I mental
your bombs
boomed.
from being defused by attackers.
But nonetheless, they will be using those to their advantage. It's going to be a kitchen push. I think Montaigne is fantastic for these kitchen pushes. As he can push his way right in, and you can kind of ignore, well, not ignore, but you're not under threat from the player playing behind the counter unless they have a smoke canister or nitrous in hand, which happens to be 3 of the 5 defenders that should be choosing to play there. But if SAD repeat what they did earlier, they will not be playing anyone that aggressively forward. You can see the double reinforced wall from kitchen into bakery would imply that they're not going to have someone behind the counter. However, the smoke has used his shield in prep and will be setting up there. The mute jammer's coming out now just to stall out any thermite that tries to open up that wall.
Activating camera.
Drone up. Bomb located by attackers.
Located a bomb.
The pole, can SAD pull it back? And it looks like at the moment we're sitting at a 100% for no.
Phone activated.
The audience very certain in the capability of MSG to win this map out, but we're starting to see a pullback in the vote. However, the pullback in the vote is not going to be enough as Sanity finds the opening kill onto Drapes. And that's going to be the life of the smoke now gone before many gas canisters can be used. I don't think a single one was actually used out, and that's the first minute gone. Techno taking some early damage on the top floor, but that's a lovely swing from Joshinator on the Valkyrie, taking out the Rust as Zofia off the table. Now pushing very aggressively towards the IQ. The IQ is not careful, but the IQ is aware. The swing not connecting with its target. It's now going to leave the attackers very wary of this upstairs presence. No drones to support the IQ in her conquest of the top floor, so she's going to have to go in blind unless she drones herself in. Meanwhile, the defenders are starting to... the attackers are starting to focus their efforts onto the kitchen wall. And that'll be Dash finding Joshinator on the flank, catching the Valkyrie off before she can rotate.
Swapping
Look
that.
out, it's live. Here we go. Stay back.
Drone spinning up.
The wall finally getting open now by the thermite, and that's going to be a lovely shot. Going to take out Carney. That's the Legion off the table, and another fantastic shot from Fire. He really wants to win, and he's going to get himself the double kill, and the Montaigne will finish it off, and that'll be map number 1 of the SSAL Season 1 going to MSG. Mindset Gaming winning the first game of the season. Fantastic defensive performance from them. Very strong attacks coming out as well. I think they were definitely the better team and definitely deserved the win on this one. Look at that, 15 kills for Techno, 11 for Dash, and 13 for Sanity, 10 for Fire. Rust, while not having a fantastic performance this game, I'm sure he'll be very happy that his team have been able to assist him. And well, sometimes that happens, you know. You just need your team to stand with you. And in the game, at the end of the day, it's a team game, and with a win like that, you can't be too disappointed.
Okay, so we'll be moving over to another game. It's not the end of the stream just yet.
Yes, our next matchup will be Valhalla versus Safe Space. Team Safe Space, I believe. two teams that have played against each other before, and it was a fantastic best of 3 thriller, going to 44 out of a potential 45 maps. So you can't be too dissatisfied.
That was a very interesting game.
I did not expect Mindset Gaming to be quite this strong. Their defenses were phenomenal. I think they played so well off of each other and were able to find early picks every single round. SAD, on the other hand, I think they showed some promise, showed some very good individual talent, especially with the 3 vs 1 Monty clutch from Grisbear, as well as the 4 vs 2 from Carney and Raza. But sadly, they could not put enough wins on the round, enough wins on the board to secure themselves the map win. So it'll be 3 points for Mindset Gaming and 0 points going in favor of SAD. However, they have a couple of days before their next game, so they can look this back over and try and see where their mistakes were and improve for next time. And that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about improving and getting stronger as a team. I believe we will be running to a short break before our next game, so do not go anywhere. Go grab yourself a drink, a snack, run to the loo if you need to. Make sure you're right back here for game number 2, Valhalla Esports versus Team Safe Space. It's going to be a thriller, and I'm expecting an 8-7 scoreline no matter where we go.
builds within. Footsteps fade, what could have been? Finally, I feel more free. The end of you and me. Let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. My heart belongs to me. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger. You're never gonna let me go, and I will never let you go. And now I'm feeling stronger, feeling stronger, feeling stronger, feeling stronger, feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Feeling stronger, feeling stronger. Let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. Let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. Wasting time on my own. All the places you said we go. All this pain builds within. Footsteps fade, what could have been? Finally, I feel more free. The end of you and me. Let it go, let it be. My heart belongs to me. My heart belongs to me.
Okay, so it's cafe again. Brilliant. More cafe. Who doesn't love cafe?
Hello.
Hello.
Another cafe game. Crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone loves cafe apparently.
Apparently so.
I think it's quite interesting that Safe Space banned every single map these two teams played last time around.
Mm-hmm. Quite interesting.
Oh, you got any friend?
I do have a new friend. His name's TSP Neo. Crazy, huh?
Yeah. Some rando added you, I guess. You probably
Yeah.
carried him in ranked.
Oh god. Apparently less scared shitless. Interesting. Bit more cafe.
I went absolutely ham in a ranked game on Chalet in the high elo of Gold 3.
Ooh.
And this kid was flaming me the whole time. And then afterwards, he sent me a friend request because I carried his ass. So I flamed him in chat.
F.
Yeah. Look, there's nothing wrong with trying to get boosted by someone in your ranked games, right? But if you're going to be toxic the whole game and then try and get boosted, just don't. Just don't be toxic. Be kind and caring. From this day forward, whenever you get in a chat, is Nexus Gaming in this? No.
No.
Nexus Gaming are not in this. I believe Nexus Gaming is still rebuilding their team from their loss at the hands of Wave.
Make sure blue team is defending.
Which I don't think really can be too sad about because Wave looked dominating through that whole event. And everyone in Wave, if you're in Wave and you're in chat, then you've got to put a pog or like a smiley face in the
I see
chat
it's
now.
like last time, before they arrive, we're all here.
F.
Looks like I feel like this isn't the
Hmm. Still waiting for Safe Space to appear in the game. It's a copy of what happened in SST2. There we go.
Yes.
Now Neo's in the game.
they should start flooding in. Emphasis on should. They probably won't.
I hope they do.
You ask for too much. Oh no, not round 2. Trying to open up. Why is this being a nuisance?
They're rolling in. It's happening. It's happening. They're rolling in. Oh my god. No way. It's happening.
I think I believe Big Flop is subbing in for Lethal Jojo, who is currently unavailable.
Mhm.
So
I think Lethal Jojo's a sub.
neither of on the website it says that their only sub is Kieran, but I believe Big Flop is a sub. He subbed in for them during the last event.
Right.
But it is lovely to see Stella back in the lineup. I think his raw fragging potential will be greatly missed.
Still is a sight to see.
Yes. It's truly stellar what he can do on Ash.
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
my stellar pun for the day.
That is your stellar pun for the day. I'm gonna have to add big flop into the subs. There we go.
This is a very different safe space lineup. In fact, only one member, and that is Neo, is coming back. Clearly, Doozy decided to drop after losing to an EU team after flexing that NA had it in the bag.
Apparently Stella wants to be on orange team now.
I don't blame him.
Why does everyone like defense on Cafe?
Because it's really strong. I think Cafe defense on Cafe is where you want to be.
Yeah.
You have reading, the top floor, and kitchen, which are three very defendable sites.
True.
And I'm honestly surprised we're not seeing more reading play. I think reading is the best site on the map.
Everyone in Valhalla's ready, just waiting for 2 players in safe space. Okay, there we go. There we go.
And we are
Into the
away
game we
into
go.
Cafe.
Cafe again. Everyone loves
Yes.
Cafe.
Were you proud of my alliteration skills there? Is it alliteration? Rhyming, I should say.
Probably.
It's rhyming, not alliteration. I'm gonna get flamed for that. And that is the buck gone from Valhalla. This is the second time that Valhalla have banned a buck. They banned the buck on Consulate as well. So clearly they're afraid of the buck coming up underneath them and bucking out their site when they're in the kitchen. When they're on the top floor on bars, bucking underneath the floor. So they're removing it from play. The Thatcher being removed from safe space, and they are attacking first. I think this is a trap that a lot of teams fall into, where they see at the higher level the Thatcher get banned a lot, and then they think that they should do a similar ban for similar reasons. However, sometimes I think it makes more sense to go with your own ban, and that's why I quite like the buck being taken out. Is it Valhalla clearly seeing something that they dislike and want to get rid of? The mirror being taken out as well as the echo. So some very normal bans on the defense. I think it's almost expected now to see the bars come out first from Valhalla, and there we go. The bars straight onto it with the buck gone. You want to try and put as many rounds as you can on that site, and with the 7 rounds, you can, if you win every single round, or if you win a bomb site consistently, in theory you can play it 3 times now. But they're going to last minute swap to the kitchen service. Interesting lineup coming out. The Maestro is on the board. Very strong operator.
I can smell something cooking in the kitchen.
Oh, lovely.
Wonder what it is.
Hopefully a win for Valhalla on the first round.
Heavy.
But if it smells good enough, then maybe TSP will just barge their way in and take it.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Activate
Does also mean that Thatcher and Mira have a 100% ban rate on Cafe this season. And it'll be a setup
Attackers have
with the
located a bomb.
deployable shield in Bakery coming out from Valhalla.
10 seconds remaining.
We saw Valhalla play on Cafe against Nexus Gaming. Not against
I'm
Nexus,
being
against
told-
Wave,
hang on.
sorry.
Sorry.
No problem.
Attackers have
We saw them
detected
play,
suspicious bomb.
we saw Valhalla play against Nexus, Wave, not Nexus, on this map, and this is very similar to the setup that they would run there. So it'd be interesting to see if Safe Space have watched that series and are ready to show what they can do in response to the setups that are being brought out. Neo on the Habana. They only have the Habana. Probably expected the top floor to come out first, especially with the Buck ban. I think Thermite is slightly more preferable for this site. However, Habana definitely has her uses.
I'm so sorry, I'm back.
It's all good. So some early pressure coming in. Going to take control of that top floor from Laser and Arzvor. It's going to be difficult getting used to some of these names earlier on. But the Jaeger has been trapped inside of the washing room and is going to be taken out very early on by Zeoms. Zeosm? Zeoms. I don't know how to pronounce that one.
Probably just call him Z, I guess.
Zeo. We'll go with Zeo.
Looks like they're all on bottom floor now, yeah.
Yeah, the defenders have all fallen back, and they're going to very quickly take control of the middle two floors for the attackers and start opening up some sight lines. They've got a minute 20 still on the clock. There's plenty to work with, and that's going to be a fantastic shot from Arzvor on to kill Nova. That is the Legion down for all those goo mines will be able to be deployed. Storm just waiting patiently.
Attackers have
Gonna
located
destroy a drone. They're gonna know he's back in the VIP. And he'll be swung onto, and that's a lovely shot from Arzvor on the IQ. That's his second kill with the G8, and he's showing himself to be very proficient with the weapon. The lot of damage now being dealt onto the said IQ by Kuroshi. The Alda doing a fantastic job at pushing the defenders back and the attackers back and holding them at bay. Well, they've opened the freezer wall, and they're now going to be careful of multiple angles of attack. That's going to be the first kill for the defense coming out, followed quickly by that's a double kill for the shotgun of Big Flop.
10 seconds to
It's
go.
going to be another kill for the Alda. Safe Space will quickly close out the round, finding the Maestro, and then finding the smoke shortly afterwards. The Nomad working her way into freezer before eliminating the player in the middle of the room.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
We'll save that one for a rainy day. The Oryx coming out from Killnova, I mentioned this last time we saw them playing on this map back in the SST2. I really don't like their default for this site. Thankfully, they're bringing the Jaeger,
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
so they'll still have that potential to hold onto the site, but I think the Oryx is not as strong as people, or as Valhalla seem to value it. I think there are other operators which provide a lot more usage on this site. I understand the value. Obviously, you have the hatch, which you can see Killnova opening now, and he'll go and open the one in shop. And that in combination with the hatch that you have at the back of Cocktail Bar gives you some nice potential flanks where you can come up behind the attackers or up into the site, which is very handy. But I don't know if the gimmick of being able to jump these hatches is really worth the operator pick. And it is a default that they run every time they play this site, so potentially Safespace could be aware of this and just hold onto the hatches. They have the Nomad in the hands of Laser,
The attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
who will definitely shut down this potential play. Basically, an early pick from Storm onto Laser. That is the Nomad who I was just referring to as being able to slow down this Oryx off the table. Three attackers just waiting on the top of Red Hatch, trying to make sure they have themselves some space. A minute gone, they've already lost their first member. Zio pushing very aggressively with this sledge into Piano, and they're now going to take it with the help of Arsvor on the IQ. The Nitro coming out from Storm, the pre-placed, just missing its target. Not quite ready, missing the sound of the drop. Well, they didn't drop, so we didn't get the sound of the drop. The ex-Kairos now coming out onto that freezer wall, just trying to provide themselves a little bit more line of sight. That we Killnova and Stella sneaking their way, each of them up through the site. Both these hatches are currently in pretty good sight lines of the attackers, so you won't be able to really make the best use of them, but the staircases are always available. IQ now, choosing to go with the vertical grip over the angled grip, an interesting choice, seeing as the weapon is basically always favored with the angled grip, as that faster ADS is much preferable to the slightly reduced recoil of an already lovely, nearly lovely manageable weapon. But it's personal preference, and that's going to be a quick kill coming out from Big Flop, taking out the Habana before quickly getting the refrag onto Kuroshi. But Storm will find a kill and then be Big Flop eliminated, as with Storm. And that'll be the IQ on the site, taking out another kill. That's the double kill for the IQ, removing Stella. It's now Killnova in the 2 versus 1. Here's someone coming through Piano, but cannot find the kill. That was a lovely collapse to pull back a 4 versus 5. Every single kill that was that Valhalla was able to acquire was quickly refragged, but on the flip side, Valhalla weren't able to refrag the kills that TSP were finding, which meant that the numbers advantage that Valhalla had was not being fully capitalized on, and they were trading members and then losing members until eventually they were in a 2 versus 1. And from there, it's going to be difficult to clutch that out with the diffuser in the hands of the attackers. Going back to Bar now, and it's going to be the Oryx coming out again. Interestingly, Big Flop on the Vigil. We could see this changed to a mute, or they could go for a more heavy roam setup. They have, okay, it's going to be the Oryx swapped out for the Bandit. And it's actually the Gridlock swapped out now. Not too worried about the staircases. They do have the Habana with them, so you don't need both.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Similar setup now on the top floor, but obviously with the Bandit over the Oryx, means that they're going to be able to hold or stall out a little bit more time on some of these key walls in the freezer and at the top of Piano, top of Red into Piano. So I imagine when we'll see the next set of Bandit batteries coming out. Meanwhile, they're going to be reinforcing into the back of Freezer. They haven't opened that rotate up, but we could see it impacted by Big Flop and his Vigil. No, not at the moment, but you never know. quick approach coming in from River Docks now, from the attackers.
Reloading, cover me!
The Nitro being put underneath the drop once again by Storm. It's a lot of early damage done from the Vigil of Big Flop onto the IQ. Arsvor has been very strong on these attacking rounds, especially with the G8 in hand. Taking a little bit of damage is going to really hamper his ability to find those kills. But I don't doubt he'll be able to hit hits. It's just whether he can survive long enough to do so. 50 seconds gone, but the attackers are finally going to start worming themselves into the building. Laser now, already in a position within Piano, I believe behind the minibar. Was that on the middle floor? That's going to be a nice nice push from Alpha Cupcake to find the Vigil before the Nitro Cell pre-placed by Storm is going to pay off and find the Habana. The double roamer on the bottom floor by the white stairs causing a little bit of a problem for the attackers as Zio can't quite get a comfortable push in. And that's going to be the IQ found out by the Jaeger. That's a lovely shot from Stella going prone and finding him on the rappel. And another quick kill onto Alpha Cupcake. The Zofia coming down, which leaves the attackers in a 2 versus 4. Very unfavorable position for them to be in. They quickly find the kill onto Stella, however, in the side of the dining room, but it'll be refragged by Killnova on the Bandit. Sledge, not quite able to land the shots that he needs to get this Bandit as he rotates in towards the dining room. The floors in the hole coming in, doing a little bit of chip damage down onto the Sledge, but ultimately he is still alive and has 50 seconds on the clock to pull off some magic. He's going to prepare a grenade, throw it at the ground, a well-timed grenade, but sadly there was no one where it lands. He's eyeing up these white stairs. He's going to slowly push out. The Bandit is ready on them. Oh, maybe is that someone inside a train? That is the... So it was Bandit inside a train. It was actually the Valkyrie on the white stairs. But potato, they get the kill either way. So lovely play by Valhalla on that site. And I'm happy they won without Oryx. Just, yeah. So they're choosing to run it back to kitchen now. They lost on this site last time, but there's an opportunity for a change of pace now, with their first round being put on the board in the bars. You see an interesting lineup with the Mozzie. The Doc again coming in, trying to hold on the long angles. The Thermite now coming out from Neo. Expecting the change. Probably not expecting a reading, as people aren't playing reading, much to my disappointment. But I think Thermite is an excellent pick here if you're expecting the kitchen to come out. So I think he's stronger than Habana, being able to open more of those walls.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
I think Valhalla have some interesting operator lineups. Not that I think they're necessarily bad lineups, I just think they're certainly not as common. Choosing to run things like the Oryx, seeing the Doc come out for this site. I think it's just an interesting adaptation. Interesting to see the lack of a smoke that is consistently being played. Smoke, obviously a very strong operator and commonly seen as one of the most picked defenders next to the Jaeger. So just not seeing him on the board is interesting.
Attackers must locate and defuse a
Clearly they have a plan for what they want to do. Using the Doc in the back of the dining, I think that's lovely. He has a long line of sight down that whole corridor, which can be very strong.
A bomb has been
You
located.
can see him watching, yeah, exactly, that corridor right there. They have no one set up in Bakery, but do have And with, I think they have a deployable shield. I believe the Valkyrie brought the nitro cell. So again, no deployable shields. Deployable shields are a very strong piece of defender utility at the moment. Now that they have those little slits in them, changing the way that you can really play around them, effectively using them as pocketable mirror windows, rather than what they used to be, just a bit of hard cover. So, a little bit of a change of pace now. It's going to be a minute in, with very little happening already. Big Flop just preparing for someone jumping straight through that window. As the attackers, are setting themselves up to clear from the top floor, it looks like. We're already seeing Alpha Cupcake pushing very aggressively in, and yet that's the top floor control for safe space. IQ's creeping her way down the white stairs, hoping to find someone unaware. Laser has spotted out Stella, but that's going to be the first kill coming out, removing Kill Nova. Fantastic shots from Alpha Cupcake, taking very little damage in response. And Ash is going to start the vertical. Okay, throwing the impact out. It's going to give a similar effect
Attackers have located a
as just
bomb.
letting the breaching charge go off. But I guess you want to send a message. Are they aware of Stella hiding in reading? They should be. I believe they spotted him on drone. And they're going to be setting up to take him out. Now, Laser looking the wrong way, so I don't think they were aware, but now they are. Looks like one's going to be coming in from the pillar's door, really trying to shove out Stella, but it's going to be a lot of damage. Actually, the down coming out onto the IQ, not that he would know it, as points are off. Stella with the double kill. Sadly, he was unable to finish off the IQ, which would have led him to acquire the triple. But with Stella and Kill Nova being taken out now, it's 45 seconds with no more roamers.
Ready. My favorite part.
Lovely bit of gunplay from the Thermite, finding himself a kill. And that's Alpha Cupcake taking out the defender, but then taking out the Thermite, leaving himself in a 2 versus 1 with 20 seconds left on the clock. This is a critical mistake, and they have no clue where Storm is.
15 seconds remaining.
Storm prepping the Nitro Cell as the diffuser is coming down. It's going to land in the completely wrong site. So, a critical mistake from Alpha Cupcake taking the head of the Thermite when trying to get out a Valkyrie camera ultimately is going to potentially work out. He's now on the post plant, and he knows where Valkyrie's coming from, as you can hear her shooting her gun. He's waiting for the prep door to be pushed. Has a lovely angle behind the counter, actually, and it's going to be quite difficult for the Valkyrie to contest this. But attempt to contest, she will. The kill will not be found, and that'll be safe space, winning round number 4. Just about. I think the push from safe space was very strong in taking out Kill Nova early on. The mistake for me was that they never sent a drone into reading. Stella was able to sit in reading for 1:30, just chilling. And then it was Laser on the Nomad who walked past the door to set up the air jabs. As you would, you're the Nomad. But because they hadn't cleared out that space, the swing from the Jaeger, who was able to crouch walk, I believe it was a crouched slow walk into position on the doorway, was able to find that kill. And then find not only the down onto the IQ, but a second kill, doing a ton of damage. And really, at that point, I feel like it's a mistake almost too great to be making. But they're able to win out the round either way and continue on successfully.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Camera feed up and running.
So we're finally seeing the reading come out after they failed to defend kitchen twice, as the bars are still locked and they clearly don't want to go back downstairs.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving out
We're
to locate a
seeing
bomb and
the
defuse it.
Doc coming out again. I think Doc is quite strong on this map. However, I feel like the ACOG should be taken advantage of on the upstairs by the cocktail bar, but They seem to be disagreeing. Kill Nova falling back onto the site now, which means they have 3 on site with the Valkyrie and the Jaeger upstairs roaming. So not... There's a bit of a mix. They're going for a little bit of a horizontal take, but also some vertical pressure. Could be an interesting combination. Big Flop getting aggressive on that first window, but unable to find any damage onto any of the attackers rappelling up that side of the building. The windows behind the cocktail bar are going to be opened up very quickly by Laser. Stella in that corner. They're going to spot him out on the drone now. And the drone will be able to escape with its life, as Stella can't really contest it easily without potentially exposing himself to an angle. Laser still on the window, but for the moment being isn't actually pressuring Stella out of his position. The double reinforced wall also means that they're not going to be able to draw any long lines of sight. The drone finally coming out and spotting Storm, and that's going to be Stella very quickly taken out. That's a lovely peek from the Zofia, but the Valkyrie will find the Nomad before quickly being refragged out by the IQ of Arsvor. Once again, he's absolutely popping off with these kills, find them very quickly. And now they're going to be using the scanner to try and take out any goo mines and bits of gadgetry on the middle floor.
I'm not sure he knows that he's trying to shoot cams and stuff that is on the bottom floor. But,
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the Zofia finding another successful kill. And that is Kuroshi going down, I believe, on the Legion, which leaves them in a questionable position where they're going to swing out and lose another life. The red dot on the AUG A3. Interesting gadget choice, but it's personal preference when it comes to these scopes. The red dot for me, not killing it, and he's in fact going to be killed with it by the IQ. Well, that's another round on the board for the attack, and it looks like Valhalla really struggling to set themselves up in a winning position on these defenses. 4-1 is the score to Safe Space. This nearly completely new lineup, looking a lot more successful than the prior. Not that the prior wasn't successful. They just were neck and neck with Valhalla, who really don't seem to be able to compete today. Maybe it's just today. Never know. The swap onto the knock, clearly they think that they can get away with sneaking some players into the map past some cameras. It'd be interesting to see if it can pay off. It's an interesting operator pick, one that is less seen, but when used correctly can do absolutely lethal amounts of damage. The 2 frag grenades are also nothing to scoff at.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So Valhalla still not choosing to run anyone aggressively inside of Pixel. It's something that we see quite a bit, but neither team today has actually chosen to do so.
10 seconds left before insertion. 5 seconds left. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Okay, the push now coming out from the river docks. Once again, just choosing to push quite aggressively. Alpha Cupcake going to be rappelling up by that window where Big Flop contested last time, but was unable to find anything done. The pre-placed Nitro coming out again. I feel like the pre-placed Nitro trick works once, and then after that, you should expect it. The fact that Neo died to it on the second defensive round, well, the round 3 actually, but... Oh, and there we go, the knock already doing damage. That was on the middle floor, the bottom floor, sorry. Sneaking right in. I don't know how that happens quite so early on, but Stella clearly unaware of the presence of the Stealth Master. And that is why you take knock, I guess. If you can remove Stella, who's been a fantastic roaming presence for Valhalla on these defenses, and you can take him out that quickly and not even a minute gone,
Bomb
and he's
located
off the
by
board.
attackers.
And that puts you at a 5 versus 4 advantage very early on. They now have to take quick control of the piano and shop before finding another quick kill onto Killnova from the Zofia. Quite a lot of damage being done from this Maestro cam as Big Flop is able to pull the score a little bit back before finding himself eliminated by the Habana of Neo. The Maestro spotted out in the freezer, and Sledge is preparing just to swing right in, but he's going to take the angle prone, the pre-fire. Not hitting any shots, but it's a nice attempt. That's going to be a lot of damage now done from Neo. That is the Habana finding the kill onto the Maestro. Storm, in the 1 versus 4, a couple of his adversaries are tagged up a wee bit, but he's going to have to pull a miracle if he wants to see his team secure their second round. And that's going to be the first engagement he encounters, going in the favor of Zeo. Another fantastic round being put on favor of Safe Space, bringing them to 5-1. It's quite interesting to see the complete shift of this map with different teams. Where last game you had a strong defensive showing from Mindset, and this time you have a strong aggressive showing on the attack from Safe Space, yes. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how Valhalla can start to put together their attacks. But first of all, we're going to have to see if they can hold this bar. They're running the Umai and the Jaeger, which to me could mean that they're going to go for a bit more of a hold towards the Pixel spot in the piano, but the Montaigne coming out is a very interesting pick, especially when you see the Jaeger Umai being able to walk straight at them and compromise their positions. The Legion from Kuroshi is going to be a fantastic pick here, as it will definitely slow down the Montaigne, but I don't think they're going to be able to get onto him whilst he is being gooed. So it will slow him down, but ultimately I do not believe it should lead to a free kill.
Attackers need to
But you never know.
and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Deploying in here. Jammer ready to activate.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Camera feed activated. Deployed and ready to go. ATS deployed and ready to go. Fuse going out. Jammer ready. You're unaffected. Ready. Feed up.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Okay,
to go.
here we're seeing the Wamai setting up that deployable shield aggressive in the pixel corner, and they're going to start to throw out those Wamai magnets onto the back of the sofas, the chandelier, and the chairs, and those will catch any grenades or flashbangs that are coming in to try and remove the presence of the Wamai. But this is a lovely adaptation onto the Montaigne. When they see the Wamai, and is that a different skin from the Montaigne?
That is allowed.
It's an allowed skin. I love it. If it's allowed, if you're allowed to run big pink Montagna, then who am I to stop you?
Planting toxins.
Yeah, my question with it was because the skins are normally done so you know which operator you've killed, and so there's no hidden advantages to the skins.
Yeah.
But I don't see an advantage to dressing as a big pink shield man, so makes sense.
I don't see
Laser.
a disadvantage either.
Yeah, they already know you're there. Laser pushing right in onto Killnova, but this will be Zeo getting eliminated very quickly. Laser just meleeing the Killnova on the Wamai, but it's going to be Stella finding a kill on the red stairs before quickly being shut down by Alpha Cupcake, sorry. The Montaigne pushing towards the white stairs now. Gonna drone himself forward. to Goomine catching itself onto Alpha Cupcake before quickly being eliminated by Kuroshi. Lovely Penta skin he's flexing there.
Stay behind me.
And it's going to be right down to the 2 versus 3. Osvor and the Montaigne. Looks like they're going to adjust themselves for a white, says Take. They're just chatting amongst themselves and seeing what they can do. The Montaigne pushing forwards. The IQ behind, going to get tagged down. It's going to be eliminated by Big Flop before he'll be downed by the Montaigne. Could we see 2 3v1 Montaigne plays? The Goomine being taken out now.
I'm excited for it. That's for sure.
The shot's coming out. He hears someone. He knows there's someone flanking behind him. And he's prepping himself for the push. The anticipation. He's going to push very aggressively towards this Valkyrie, who he knows is on the new balcony. He aims. The shots coming in from behind will not allow him to clutch this round out, which is very sad to see, but well played from Valhalla to finally put another round on the board. And that is going to end the half 5-2. And now we'll have the side swap.
I'm not going to talk about what just happened in that Discord. Oh
What?
no. Look in general. I think it's in general. Yeah, it's in general.
Oh my god.
F.
That is an F. Yeah, this was something of a gem from earlier.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
When I dropped the stream link in their Discord.
Target's ready. Let them come.
Attackers
So we're seeing the
location of
pulse coming out from Zeo now, as well as the castle from Neo. The EO brothers picking up both of the FBI operators on defense. That does mean they've got a double UMP on the board. For the questions we're seeing in chat about skins, there is a list of banned set skins in the rulebook, which has been posted in the Discord channel, which people can see. So some of the event skins, such as the pink Montan butterfly, are allowed.
Changing mags. Survey. Jammer initiated.
That's a very quick kill onto Osvor from Killnova on the Capital. Going to be the mute taken down before he can make the best use of his Nitro Cell, but also going to compromise his position. Be Neo chilling inside the laundry. It's an interesting setup here. The couple different walls opened up. The pulse below is going to be giving information on the players repelling or just present on the west side of the building. I think the Twitch is a very interesting operator pick, but I think it's a really strong operator at the moment. It's really nice to see Twitch getting a little bit more love from the community and from this team. Laser very aggressively playing with the one mic and have to fall back a little bit as these hatches start to get opened up by the breaching charges equipped onto that Twitch. The contest now coming out from Neo in the laundry room, trying to fight off Killnova. The better gun and the ACOG, but still Neo's confident in his skills in taking out this player. Sadly, it'll be Killnova finding Neo. I believe that's a Capital bolt, but it might be the impact from the bolt that actually finished him off in the end. Stella working his way really close to Zio, and Zio doesn't really seem to know there's a player pushing behind him. He does now, and he turns. Can't quite get the pre-fire, but will take a little bit of damage in response. That's going to be a quick kill from Alpha Cupcake, but the kill will be quickly traded out as Laser will fall to the Zofia of Stella. It's now in a 1 versus 2. Stella and Kuroshi up against Alpha Cupcake on the Jaeger. He'll find the first kill and quickly peek towards where he hears the second player coming. Peeks with a pistol, gets the down on the Zofia. Lovely bit of work to secure round number 8 for Safe Space Gaming. The double kill coming out for the Jaeger in the 1 versus 2. A lovely shot onto the Twitch, followed by a very quick swing round onto the Zofia, pushing through the laundry rotate. And a round that really should have been in the hands of Valhalla will fall to Safe Space. So we're seeing the Bars defense working out very well. Well, it didn't work out very well, but they won the round. I'm now going to rotate to the kitchen. The Twitch coming back. I believe it's a very similar lineup with the sledge in place of the Capitao. Again, saying this Jaeger or Mai combo with the castle. I think it's very strong. You're denying all the projectiles.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Denying all the projectiles, but also forcing attackers through certain areas.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
You can stop worrying about grenades now. Razorway deployed. Doorway barricaded.
Well done.
Oh
10
god.
seconds left. 5 seconds to insertion. Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
I don't understand
Attackers have dropped
Nexus.
the bomb
They
diffuser.
scream
Attackers
constantly,
recovered the bomb
but
diffuser.
then
I thought they were supposed to be in this event.
they were supposed to, but they forfeited because they didn't want to play.
Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. But let's focus on the round at hand, as if Safe Space can win, they will push themselves onto match point.
I've never seen
They each have to
that,
hold.
like Boulder and push, like with the bottom of the wall.
Yeah, it's an interesting way of holding it,
I mean, it'll work. It's just very temperamental.
where you so you expand yourself back towards the VIP area like the Womai has done and make it a little bit harder to be cleared out. They have the deployable shield there, so he can actually contest anyone that tries to push in or is safe to back up should he need to. And I imagine he'll have a magnet hidden somewhere on the wall so that if they should try and Zofia impact the shield, they'll have a way to catch it and not lose their shield early on. That's going to be a pretty slow start out for Valhalla. 1 minute 30 gone, no damage or shots exchanged by either team. The first kill coming out for Zio onto Kuroshi, that is the Twitch falling. And there's a minute 10 left on the round, with Zio down at pretty low HP, but it's still a 5 versus 4. With the Zofia on the board, they should be able to open the back of Freezer from range. However, Laser is going to be doing a good job at contesting. There's the Womai magnets coming out, trying to deny any grenade play. But this is a long angle now, being held by Big Flop. They're aware of Laser and his position, but they haven't really done anything to remove him from play. They're not putting a whole lot of pressure onto the defense, and they're kind of just allowing them to sit comfortably in their spots. It's going to be the first push finally coming in from the Zofia into the small bakery. Also down red stairs. But there's Legion and Valkyrie are waiting, and that's going to be another kill coming up as Neo will find Kill Nova. That is the sledge going down
15 seconds
by
left.
the by the brown stairs. Another kill, and okay, that's a flawless round. Flawless round. They waited to the last 20 seconds and then lost every single player they had. The kills came in too quick for me to keep up with, and eventually the round is just over. I believe it was the one in bakery, one in red stairs, and one on small bakery that ended up losing their lives, but sometimes that's just what happens. And it's now going to be match point at 7-2. I'll remind you, the last game ended 8-3 in favor of Mindset Gaming. And so we could see another very quick game on Cafe Dostoevsky. Can we get a quick scoreboard check on the last round of the game? Or the potentially last round of the game?
Bottom's being very toxic in the chat.
Yeah, I don't think he's very happy.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Press down.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds left before insertion.
Okay,
Attacker's
so
objective is to defuse a bomb.
we're seeing a heavy roam setup coming out from Sirius Gaming with the Vigil, Mozzie, and the Ella, as well as the Jaeger. Valhalla trying to set up a push from the west side of the building. Looks like Big Flop is potentially going to try and push onto these cocktail windows. The defense coming out in reading. It's going to be a lot of damage coming out onto Osvor very early on from the skylight. But the first kill will come out from the Ella of Zio onto Karochi. That is the sledge being taken out off the board. Oh, lovely shot from the window. That is Stella taking out Alpha Cupcake. The Jaeger standing on top of the table was not quite expecting that the pre-fire through the window to come out from Stella. But once again, he's showing his proficiency with the weaponry in this game, finding another kill to add to his tally. As Laser is now pincered in that corner, with Ash and Sophia both waiting on the windows and Killnova droning him out. However, the run out coming out is huge from the Mozzie. And that'll be Arsvor finding one kill before being refragged by the Ash, leaving them in a 3 versus 3.
Attackers
Quick, nice shot coming out from Big Flop on the Ash, finding him the Vigil through the window on the white stairs from outside. But now it's going to be seeing if they can make use of their man advantage and push into the site. The Alda being used in the hands of Laser will quickly find a kill onto Stella. and that is going to be 2 quick kills coming out in quick succession. The G8 and the R4C finding 2 lovely picks onto the members of Safe Space upstairs, and that'll be another round on the board for Valhalla, bringing the score to 7-3. Okay, we're seeing the clash from laser being hovered. This is a very interesting pickup, especially on the top floor. I think there's a lot of strong places to use to make advantage of that CCE shield. You can control the white corridor from the back, but they're going to swap it off onto the Wamai. No hard breacher being shown originally, but it's going to be Killnova picking it up, exchanging the Vigil, the Jackal, sorry. Not believing that they need the extra room clear.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
But the clash will come off onto that Wamai, and so we're going to be seeing another very similar setup with the deployable shield in Pixel likely. Neo making the very quick rotate from the kitchen. I think this is going to be very interesting. I like the way that they're opening up this wall, which gives them the line of sight from the Pixel corner to peek.
Bomb located by attackers.
To peek from Pixel down towards the default plant spot, as well as behind the bar.
10 seconds left before insertion.
But they're going to choose to instead castle off the door in Pixel, which is a little bit further back, making that same hole in Laundry, I believe they've got there again. It's going to enable them to play off of that and into the piano should they choose to go there. Very interesting setup coming out from the top floor.
Wall, 3 and 4. Reload. Camera feed up and run. Activating shock drone.
It was a pretty slow start from Valhalla, but they're going to start setting themselves up to clear through the train. Try to get that bottom floor control. It's going to be a big flop on the Ash, just waiting on that rappel. Trying to catch Neo out in laundry room. They finally spotted him on the drone. Now moving towards the window to get that line of sight. It looks like the laundry door is barricaded off, so they could use the Ash breaching charge to open that should they desire. The Nitro Cell being thrown by Arzvor, not quite finding its target. But the Twitcher is going to move up. That's a lovely shot onto Killnova, injuring the Habana. That's the Diffuser player down. He's going to get the quick kill. A double kill. A second kill, sorry, coming out from Neo onto the Ash of Big Flop. They pushed in quite aggressively. He's paid the price. And that's going to be another very lovely shot coming out from the upstairs. That is Laser, I believe, taking out the... is it Laser? Yes, Laser taking out Stella in the middle floor, who was playing for the vertical control from the pillars. Kuroshi, just careful of his angles as he approaches in. Storm now trying to push towards the yellow stairs. A lovely shot from the Valkyrie, finding the head of the Kuroshi on the Twitch. It's now going to be in a 1 versus 5. An ace clutch will be required for Storm to extend the map and take us to the next round. But alas, he cannot find one, and that'll be the defenders winning 8-3. Double 8-3 on Cafe. Interesting start, and honestly not as close as I'd expected this game to be. A completely different lineup will do that. So we should not see them as the same team, but alas, it is a shame nonetheless. 2 very quick games coming out now on day 1. 17 kills for Alpha Cupcake. Fantastic individual performance, and that'll be the most kills acquired in a map so far this event.
So yeah, there's going to be quite a long break for the Wave versus Shabatan game that's going to happen in quite a while.
What time is the game? There was a delay due to some players being unavailable for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it's 8:30, so it's 6:30 now.
Okay, so we'll probably have to just take an extended break and be back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay.
Bring the rest of your stuff down
Yeah, we'll do.
and put it in the pusher.